Hey, things are not what you think.
Yeah, there's always something you don't know.
Welcome to Joey's Real Talk.
老外大声说。
All right, starting in March, we were voted the friendliest country by Internation's online votes.
Although that was last year.
Friendliest for expats.
Technically
last year, but if we start counting from the last double 10 day, then it's still within, that,
Cool.
that
Stretch
year.
it.
Still within range. Still within range. All right, and what about in April when we were voted, the third safest city? Or Taipei was voted the third safest city.
Taipei was voted the third safest city not in the world really, out of like 300-something cities.
That's pretty impressive.
But I mean, those are all going to be major cities, so I suppose that's kind of out of the whole world.
We fall slightly behind Abu Dhabi of United States Emirates and Munich of Germany.
And although in that article it did say that this thing changes a lot, like every month or so, because if you go back to Business Insider from like 2015, the number one country was Tokyo, and on this list it's way down at like 13 or 14.
Really?
So it can change quite a bit.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And we did a lot in August. For example, Leslie mentioned that SpaceX sent off the Falcon 9 rockets of one of our indigenously made satellite into space in August.
Yes, after a bit of a delay.
After, a bit of a delay.
But that wasn't our fault. That was Falcon.
Yeah. I think the problem was because our satellite was a bit small and they wanted to fill up the rocket or something. Was that why they waited so long?
Because the rocket failed on launching a different thing?
I have no idea if that is
Technical
actually
difficulty.
Yeah, SpaceX, their rocket exploded or something.
Whoa,
That's
I thought
not the-
again in August? Or you're talking
No,
about before?
That's why it was.
That's the delay you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, that's the delay I'm talking about.
And also in August, Taipei Universiad.
Oh yeah, we did well
It's
there.
a
We did really well.
huge event. It's, attended by people from all over the world, all kinds of different countries, major international exposure. Some of it was positive, some of it perhaps not so positive, but definitely puts Taipei and Taiwan on the map.
That's right.
And there's a Taiwan talk on this if you want to go and listen to it.
That's right. Good plug.
Very well.
Nice
Very
plug.
In your own show.
Not my own show.
Oh,
that's
you did.
Alex.
Alex did it.
Although
Okay.
I was on it, so you can
Well,
listen
there
to my
you go.
voice.
Okay. And you actually went to a few games, right, Philip?
I did. I went to the 跳水 and to the
Diving and
diving and what else? Oh, and to the gymnastics.
gymnastics.
Yes.
Nicely done. Also in August, we just received that Taiwan has shown finally for the first time in a long while positive GDP growth. About 2.1%, somewhere around there.
Something like that. It's a little bit better than expected. I think they were expecting 1 point something, and then it's maybe almost 2-ish.
Sure.
I mean, we're going to fudge the numbers because I don't remember exactly, but it's around that area.
I have here 2.13, but we'll.
But is that not the
it's somewhere
prediction?
around the-
That's the prediction.
It just says for the second quarter grew to 2.13 here. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, well.
Anyway, celebrate all the same.
From Facebook, we have a comment from Ryan Chen. Dude, that's me. Sorry. He bought a house and a Beamer.
Beamer. BMW.
Beamer.
Is that what it is?
Where's the bell? I need the
Dude,
bell.
buying a house in Taiwan.
And a Beamer. That is.
And
Wow, you need to celebrate that for
Hannah
sure.
Wakeling says everyone deserves love. We should definitely celebrate
And we
that.
should
Yes.
definitely talk about that.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about love in due time. But
Yes.
before that, right now, ongoing in Kaohsiung, the month-long Eco-Mobility Festival is currently happening. And I think we reported on this as well.
Yeah, we've been reporting on this for a while.
Yeah. So there you go. Now, of course, not to overlook what took place in May this year, something that I think all of us can be proud of. Taiwan became the first place in Asia to grant same-sex couple the rights to marry, or at least
Almost
Process.
there. We have what, 2
progress.
years?
2 years before it just becomes automatic.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about that. Actually, we have collected some coming out stories from friends of our own, or some listeners who wrote in, and we want to share that with you. If you know anyone with coming out stories, please do share that with us on the
share.
Facebook Live right now. Let's
No
take
names, though, obviously.
No names.
Well, yeah, don't share somebody else's name without asking them first.
Yeah.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back here on Real Talk on ICRT.
Make yourself comfortable and take a deep breath. And exhale.
She'll be back.
Alright， 所以我们刚刚已经为台湾做了一些2017年的
大事摘要的一些重点，就今年到底发生哪些大事，然后有讲到说我们在8月的时候把第一颗台湾制造的这个是气象卫星，right， 透过美国的 Falcon X 的这个火箭送到空中，然后再来还有什么？
We should explain why the Kaohsiung Eco Mobility Festival is kind of exciting. The reason it's exciting is because they've marked off an area and they said that all vehicles that burn fuel and emit, carbon dioxide are not allowed in that area. And that festival has been held around the world, and it's like a major international festival. And it's a way for people around the world to see how different cities with different situations can be eco-friendly.
那是哈马星 ，right？ 高雄的哈马星，现在是他们所谓的 Eco Mobility Month， 也就是在哈马星区内呢，不能开车，不能骑摩托车，只能骑脚踏车之类。然后我们最近
anything with
anything with fuel，
So I
right？
mean, of
所
course,
以
a GoGo will be fine, and like bikes.
就是零排放的意思啦 ，right？ 然后我们现在不是有一个那个公车吗 ？It drives itself， 无人驾驶公车，这也是在哈马星。
That's right.
So that's another thing that Taiwan has done in the year 2017, and also Nancy had also produced something herself in 2017.
With none of your help.
Right,
No
none of
involvement
my. I don't
whatsoever.
know. I should have said you, but anyway,
Yeah, right.
I was speaking for you. All right. Anyway, 然后再来就是5月的
Mansplaining.
Yeah. Let me explain to you how happy
what I
baby
was
works.
thinking, right, or what she was doing. All right, and also in May 5月的时候呢，我们就是大法官终于决定原本的男女的这个结婚民法的制的民法的内容是违宪的，也就是说在2年内还是2年嘛 ，right?
Yeah.
We should be able to have same-sex marriage becoming legal here in Taiwan.
If the legislators don't.
如果他们不修法或立法什么的话
Yeah. Message?
Interjection, sorry. Delphi Confessor Concillo, sorry if I said that wrong, says, humbly being proud, 2 of my siblings just finished their college way back home, so thankful for Taiwan giving me an opportunity to earn and support the education of my siblings.
Oh.
Thanks, Taiwan. Such a big help to foreign workers like me. I'm so emotional right now.
Oh, you're a mom.
All right, good job, good job. Congratulations to your
emotional?
siblings.
Wait until I read the story.
No, God, I can't. Are we almost back on?
We have another 2 minutes. We gotta keep talking.
Okay, seriously, like after becoming a mom, everything is so emotional.
Okay, wait. Yeah, let's ask
Yeah.
Nancy about her mom.
What?
Her mom.
Her mom.
No, her being a mom, her being a... Sorry,
What's wrong with you
it's
today?
Friday,
Come
okay?
on.
My
Oh.
head is not here anymore.
I
Yeah.
even took a day off in the middle of the week. What do you think?
I did not.
So I don't know. I don't know
I
why you
did.
were gone, actually.
At the beginning of the
Monday
week.
at the beginning of the week.
That's the beginning of the week.
Nancy
啊
最近生了一个小男孩，
前阵子
前阵子，他很厉害，现在已经整个瘦回来了。
还好 there's some stuff that moved to different places. Some stuff shouldn't be there. Some stuff should. I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely a life-changing experience.
So what's it like? Can we just grill you for? Are you okay? Are you comfortable
Yeah,
talking
of
about
course,
this?
of course.
Okay, so what's it like being a mom now? 当妈妈的心得。
当妈的心得 it's more emotional than you think it is, but it also puts fear in you. It makes
Fear.
you afraid of a lot of. There's a lot of stuff you weren't afraid of before because everything's up here and everything's in control. And then once you have a child, it's like, oh my God, like there's so many bad things that could happen. Or
You have to think about him.
yeah,
I like the way
It
you
puts fear in
described
you.
it before when I asked you. You
Yeah.
talked about the center of gravity.
right. I was saying like before, when you have a child, it's like your center of gravity shifts. And then before it was like, here, and then all of a sudden it's like there's a growth on you, and your gravity goes, or like, yeah, and then everything revolves differently. You're still in you, but only partially, because part of you is now somewhere else.
Wow, that's very.
So now
That's
center of
really-
gravity
That's really
is
what it feels
halfway
like.
between where you and your kid is.
Wherever the child is,
The
it's
child's
right-
here,
the
it's
center
right
of
here.
gravity is somewhere in between.
Somewhere between New Taipei and Taipei City. Yeah.
ICRT.
Okie dokes, welcome back to Real Talk. Today we wanted to cover some of our greatest achievements in the year 2017 and also Taiwan's greatest achievements in the year 2017. But I want to go back to where we were talking about Nancy. When she disappeared for quite some time, a lot of people were asking for you, by the way. And I was like, where is Nancy? I want to hear her voice. Is she still working at ICRT? Some people asked. And we couldn't quite tell them what's happening because we weren't sure if you want people to know that.
Right. Originally, I started off thinking like, this is my professional life, this is my private life, and then I was like, like as a working woman and a working mom, I'd really like to just make it a common occurrence for a woman to have a baby. Yeah, have a baby, and balance work and life. If you choose to work, whether you choose to work or I'm rambling, whether you choose to work or not work, I just want to make it more open. More out there.
There you go. Yeah. You own that motherhood.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
I thought he was going to say something else after mother. No, something not allowed.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. That's just where my head
would
went.
not. Nancy, what's it like being a mom now? You were trying to explain things in like a celestial way.
Celestial.
Well, I think
like she's a heavenly body.
Before you have a child, I think like you're kind of your head and your heart and your soul. Everything is in you, and your center of gravity is inside you, and it revolves around you, and your whole life is just about you. But then all of a sudden you have a child, and I was telling you guys earlier, it's like your center of gravity all of a sudden shifts, and there's something growing on you or just a little bit outside of you, and the center is somewhere in between you and that thing. The baby. The baby.
Very well put.
It kind of puts you off kilter all of a sudden. Like you have to suddenly adjust the way you think, and you can't help it because, I don't know, the chemicals, the emotions.
And so all your actions, you think, don't just affect you. Now they affect that thing.
Yeah, you think that thing. There's a lot more to think about. There's a lot more to love, but there's also a lot more to be afraid of. That's what I didn't expect with motherhood. Yeah.
I think it's been an experience for all of us around Nancy as well, like watching the baby grow in her tummy and then having her share all of her experiences with us.
I didn't witness that specifically, but...
The sweating and the... you mean the process?
The baby growing in her
say,
stomach.
Like the sweating and the groaning and trying to bend over. Yeah, it was...
She used to come into this room and she would put two wheelie chairs next to each other and she would lay down and just be like,
I remember.
This feels so good.
Yes, or watching her walk away, you could see, like, as the months went on, her motion started going more and more sideways. More and more sideways.
She was, she was kind of
more waddling.
Yeah.
It was a physical journey as well, yes.
Clearly.
All right, well, today, there's a lot of people sharing thoughts of love on our Facebook Live as well. I think Delphi just wrote something in.
Yeah, she was saying, Delphi Confessor Consillo on Facebook says 2 of her siblings finished college way back home, and she's really thankful to Taiwan for giving her an opportunity to earn and support her siblings and their education. Thanks to Taiwan for being such a big help to foreign workers like me.
Aww.
Congratulations to your siblings and to you.
All right, today for the rest of our Real Talk, we want to talk about stories of love because, as we mentioned, in May, Taiwan became the first place in Asia to at least constitutionalize or recognize same-sex marriage in all of Asia. And in a couple of years, it will be officialized. But right now, today, we want to share some stories of coming out because, as I think the gay parade is happening at the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
October 28th. And you can actually go online and sign up right now. I do have their address.
I don't think you need to sign up for the parade.
TW. It does say 团体报名. So
I think that's if you want to have a float in it.
Oh, if you want to be in the parade. Yeah. If you want to be in the parade, then yes.
But you can just go.
Yeah, of course, you can just encourage you to just show up and support. But if you want to check out their website, it's twpride.org. In our social circle, we actually have friends who are openly in the LGBTQIA communities. Stevie G, you guys know. He came out, I think, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 years ago?
Maybe 5, 6?
Yeah. So today we want to share some coming out stories to encourage those of you who haven't already done so or are hesitant about doing so.
Okay, and we have stories from, people our age, the young people. I don't know why people are
my
coughing.
age, young
People Yvonne's age, the young people.
Okay. But we also want to recognize that there are different perspectives to this issue. And then, there are people all around us who have different opinions as well. So we do also have, people from different generations, different backgrounds with different opinions.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with Yvonne sharing a story.
Yeah. It's I have two stories. One from a girl, one from a boy.
Okay.
And this girl, she wrote a lot. So I'm trying to shorten.
Paraphrase.
Yeah, paraphrase a little bit.
Okay, so basically, she came out to her mom first. She said, I wrote her an email, and she already kind of knew before because I Skyped my previous girlfriend pretty much every day while I was in the States. So I just wanted to tell her so that I can be honest and she can really know what's going on with me. And afterwards, she lied me and she said, no matter who I choose to be with, who I choose to marry, where I go in life, 要记得带妈妈.
Oh, Nancy's crying.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, and she told her dad after that, she said, she told her dad last year when he came to visit Taiwan, and he straight up asked her, so do you have a boyfriend? You should have a boyfriend.
Dad asked
her.
Okay. Dad didn't know at this point?
No, and this is her speaking, because I never talked to him about my relationships before, so that threw me off. So I just blurted out, I have a girlfriend. She said he started laughing hysterically.
Oh, no.
Like, oh my God, what? Oh
Like he
my
didn't
God.
believe it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really shocked, and he said to her, 虽然我不完全同意，但我想要是你生活的一部分，我永远会站在你这边，我永远是你爸爸。
So Dad says I'll always be on your side.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of your life, therefore I will agree with the choices you make.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
or
is
at least
from-
I'll support.
Yeah, from a
the choices
girl.
you take. Okay.
Friend of mine.
Actually, question for Mom, or newfound Mom, Nancy.
Yeah. Right.
How would you, what would you say to your kids if they came out to you?
This is this. I don't know. I didn't even have to think about this issue because I've always felt that personally, for me as a personal choice, it's fine if my son decides to come out to me. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I mean, I recognize that, there are people in this society who may not be able to accept him for who he is, but it's specifically because there's that element that he probably will face when he grows up if he is gay, that I want to stand in his corner and I want to be like, if I don't have his back, who's going to have his back?
Yeah, are
If
you
his
part
mom
of
is
the
not
problem
gonna-
or part of the solution?
Right. If
Yeah.
his mom is not going to support him, who's going to, I'm getting all emotional again. Sorry.
Bottom line
the
is, why would you
hormones.
want to drive your kid away by disagreeing with something that they can't change?
Because though a lot of people don't believe that it's something they could, that they
Yeah.
believe it's a choice. You'll see that,
Right.
you'll see it often, and they'll say, I support you no matter what choice you make. But I mean, it's not really a choice. If anybody could choose, they would always pick the easier way to live.
That's true. That's true.
good point.
That's why it's easier to not change than to agree with the changes, I suppose. And that's why a lot of people don't, they're afraid to make changes. All right,
Sorry.
go on.
I just wanted to add, for me personally, I feel like I lived my life. I mean, I'm still living my life now, but I'm living my life. I make my own choices, and that's my quota, And then he has a life too, and he should be able to make his choices and do what he wants to do with his life. So you get to live your life, he gets to live his life. That's how it works. It'd be greedy to try to control his life.
For today's conversation, we actually conducted a mini survey of friends around us. Of what? I think we asked about 20-odd people, right? And of all age group, we have 20s,
We have
30s,
30s,
40s. What are the
Even
percentage?
50s, 60s.
What are mostly Taiwanese folks, Taiwanese friends, right? Less. Do we have expats
mix.
friends or
Yeah, it's a
foreigner
mix.
friends? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the percentage of people who would be quote unquote okay with their kids coming out to them?
Most of them said they're okay with, they will accept.
Eventually, some of them,
yes.
it's the end game is, well, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And that was the response from most of them. But the process to get there was different for a lot of people.
Did you find it was age specific? or was it just really that there's no, correlation between ages?
I found out that more men cannot accept this than women.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It is interesting, isn't it?
But, I mean, to be fair, we had a very limited pool.
Well, it's a small
yeah,
sample. It's a very small sample.
sample.
But I mean, from personal experience, I find myself to be more stubborn. And I don't want to say that's like a trait that all men have, but I find that it's easier for men to be a little bit more stubborn and unwilling to change.
I would also suggest that it's, it's societal conditioning and it's like what they've been taught, and what they've been taught is okay for a man to say or to act like. And
it also comes down to misogyny. I mean, like, it's often perceived that being feminine or being a female is bad. I mean, that's why they get less pay. That's why their opinions are considered less important. So if a male is acting in a feminine way, then they'll get the same traits, treated the same way that society treats women.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And do you want to share the second coming out story from the boy?
Sure.
We got the female perspective.
Yeah, then this
I wonder if it's different
boyfriend
for
of
boys
mine.
to come out.
He said 大学 it's in Chinese, so I'm gonna read in Chinese. 他说大学时期某天晚上，我妈因为看我心情不好，所以跑来房间问候，但我回答的很片段也很笼统，因为不想被看出来我是因为感情的事在困扰。结果他突然就自己问我是不是喜欢男生。
Oh, so mom has that maternal
feeling.
instinct.
Yeah, 他说他妈妈已经猜了3-4年了。Well, I guess this mom would know.
Mothers know.
Okay, what about the dad? How did they?
后来他妈妈直接跟他爸讲，然后他爸爸是希望他再考虑一下，但没有很激进的阻止他。对，那然后他说他的阿公阿嬷还被蒙在鼓里，应该会蒙到棺材里。
Just not tell them because chances are
it's
hard for them to accept. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that story was in college years, right? And
yeah.
He wanted to tell his parents. His mom asked him why he's looking so upset.
Upset, yes.
And he didn't want her to know that it's about emotion, about relationships.
Yeah.
And she just guessed. She guessed
asked
that I've been, kind of thinking that you might be, but
for
never,
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Mom's instincts. I like that.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Do we have anyone saying anything on Facebook Live?
Not yet, but I'm going to share another one. A woman in her 50s, and she's educated both in Taiwan and the U.S. She says she doesn't think her feelings for her children would change much, even if they do come out of the closet, hypothetically. She loves them, and she's loved them for so long. How can you just suddenly stop loving your children, right? So just because their sexual identity is different doesn't mean she won't feel affection towards them. But, big but, she won't say cliches like, oh, I just want him or her to be happy, because that would be hypocritical. She says she can accept her children's, characteristics, but there are some limits. She doesn't know if she can accept their homosexual partner or if she could approve of the relationship. And she thinks being openly gay or lesbian, it costs a certain amount of happiness in this society that's conservative. So she would worry for them. But if they're sure about their decision and if, they've decided, then she has to be okay with it.
I think it's a work in progress.
Yes.
And it's good that we're taking steps forward. At least we're the first country in Asia to do that.
It just seems to me a little bit like putting the cart before the horse to say, I don't want to support my child because society doesn't support him.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a reason to support your child.
Exactly. When they are in need, that's when you need to support them the most. And we're very proud that in year 2017, we've taken a huge leap forward. So ahead of the Double 10 celebration, these are some of the things we want to bring into light. And I guess that concludes today's Real Talk. Did you guys have anything to add?
Love. It's all about the love.
Yeah.
And continue to love each other in the year 2018 as well.
How would you react if your kids?
How would I react?
Yeah.
How would you react?
I joke. Okay, to be honest, I hang out with Stevie G a lot, and he says that I'm a big tease, quote unquote.
I know.
That
I
always make jokes and I don't care if it crosses any boundary. I just make jokes with CBG, and he says, you're almost halfway there anyway. So I think when it comes to, if my kid comes out to me, I'll just be like, yeah, I have no right to tell you no, because your dad's, yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, today we're going to play a song about love, and this is Justin Timberlake to wrap up our today's Real Talk. Can't Stop the Feeling. And Nancy, Philip, Yvonne, thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Hello, handsome and gorgeous. Thank you for watching our video. If you like more general shenanigans or artist interviews, please make sure you click to the next video, but also make sure you subscribe to us by pressing the bell button down here, because we like to tell you more about fun stuff coming up.